I'm Kevin Steele, and listen, this is only the third time in U.S. history the U.S. House has taken such a vote regarding a sitting president. If you watched any NFL football over the weekend, it was hard to miss the tragic story of Kansas City Chiefs linebacker Javon Belcher.
Inside, John Wesley Nero is on a 24-hour watch and is expected to survive to face his charges. Thing is, prior to last night, police say they had never been to the family home on a domestic violence call, and in fact, there was no prior criminal record against Nero. Erica?
There are no real maps within the homeless world, but you ask around. Tonight we have extensive team coverage. Sheriff Cobbs is checking on things in Port Neches. William Blanchett is live in Finette, where a business and a house burned to the ground during that storm. Digging deeper for you tonight, carbon monoxide detectors, about as popular as smoke detectors. In fact, we went out and bought this one for 20 bucks tonight at Home Depot, a small price to pay to save countless lives. And you may be surprised to know school districts are not required to have these installed. In fact, every district we've talked to tonight says they do not have carbon monoxide detectors. Tonight's 409 Sports Blitz game of the week is out in Orange Field, and the Bobcats are taking on the Woodville Eagles.
That is where our sports fellas are tonight. Ashley, Mike, what's happening out there?
Doing what we can. Doing what we can, what we got.
Now on 12 News, fighting the flood. Emergency crews working day and night, plucking people from waterlogged homes. Deweyville about 100% submerged. We take a look at the water levels today.
We're having to move out again, find some more higher ground.
Plus, moving to safety again. The Deweyville family forced to seek shelter for a second time in just 48 hours. We have an inside look at Newton County evacuations.
And dangerous rise. I'm Rebecca Trejo, and I'm live in the Cove area in Orange, where, as you can see here behind me, water is starting to creep up on people's yards, almost completely submerging it. Lots of people are evacuating out here. We explain how much the river is expected to rise here in Orange.
Live from Southeast Texas, 12 News at 5 starts now.
We begin tonight with the late developments in the historic catastrophic flooding in parts of Southeast Texas. Welcome to 12 News. I'm Kevin Steele. Erica is off tonight. Our team coverage takes us into Deweyville, Orange, the community of Cove. We have heartbreaking flooding, and we are expected to have even more new locations with heartbreaking flooding. We begin tonight with Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn for a look at the river levels and some of our newest concerns tonight. Patrick?
Well, Kevin, just because some of these... We've got much more coming up. Unfortunately, more rain in the forecast in just a few minutes.
Very good points, Patrick. And north of the area you just described, downtown Orange, there are mandatory evacuations being called for. The Orange County Office of Emergency Management issuing a mandatory evacuation for folks living north of I-10 and east of Highway 87. Of course, that includes the eastern half of Little Cypress. Residents being asked to safely leave their homes, being told it could be days before they can return. Voluntary evacuations are being called for you if you live in Orange County south of I-10 in the Cove area that we talked about, east of Bob Hall Road and east of 10th Street. And a voluntary evacuation called for those of you in West Orange living south of Western Avenue and east of Dayton Street. In Pinehurst, a voluntary evacuation ordered near Adams Bayou. Police Chief Fred Hanauer says residents and businesses are involved if they are near the streets off MacArthur Drive or West Park Avenue near Adams Bayou. That includes the areas of Camelot, Lancelot, Somerset, Enchanted Oaks, and Concord, also involved in the order. This morning, the city also declared a state of emergency for areas near the bayou and low-lying adjacent areas. Newton County, the mandatory evacuation now stretching from Bon Weir south to the Orange County line, starts at the intersection of State Highway 190 in Bon Weir and FM 1416 south to the intersection of State Highway 87, then down 87 to the Orange County line. A curfew in effect as well from midnight to 7 a.m. through Saturday, March 19th. Deweyville is one of the worst hit of all of the areas of southeast Texas. Just in Jasper and Newton County alone during this entire incident, 128 rescues, 276 evacuation assists by rescue personnel. Most of the town submerged. The worst flooding in Deweyville in 130 years. 12 News reporter Ezzy Castro continues our team coverage tonight after visiting the Incident Command Center and taking a boat to see the millions of dollars worth of property, often sentimental property damage, and it's all severely damaged now. Ezzy?
Kevin, right now the Sabine River in the studio. Ezzy Castro, 12 News.
Ezzy, thanks very much. As that water moves out of Deweyville, it moves further south, of course, and now one family that had already evacuated from Deweyville is facing a second evacuation in just 48 hours. 12 News reporter Lance Edwards continues our team coverage with their story from the Hartburg area.
My neighbors helped down there in Deweyville, helped us get us out.
Lance Edwards, 12 News.
Len told 12 News the water was spotted around midnight last night, but he just didn't think it would be in the yard when he woke up this morning. Your questions answered tonight. A lot of you are wondering about the status of Interstate 10 in Orange. The Department of Transportation says they have maintenance crews monitoring the flooding in that area. As of right now, no closure of I-10 has been called for. We will continue to cover this closely for you, so stay with us. TxDOT has, however, closed several roadways throughout the area due to flooding. Currently, drivers cannot get into Louisiana by US 190, State Highway 63, or State Highway 12. Also, the Information Center in Orange, just off I-10, will close indefinitely. For a complete list of road closures throughout southeast Texas, head to our website, 12newsnow.com. We can take care of you with that there. Throughout the day, flooding's become more and more of an issue in Orange. Now, this is a business off Simmons Drive, already flooded. The boat ramps off Simmons Drive, high water's quite apparent already. And nearby, a group of people were loading up sandbags to help homeowners. If you need sandbags, there are 4 distribution sites throughout the county at each of the county precinct offices. That's where you get them. One of the places in Orange County expected to be hit the worst, the community of Cove in the city of Orange. And that is where 12 News reporter Rebecca Trejo is live now with a word for us about residents who are trying to get out early. Rebecca?
Kevin, this is the end of the street. Rebecca Trejo, 12 News.
Easy to see the issue there. Rebecca, thanks so much. Among the closures and cancellations because of the flooding, hope this helps out a little, the W.H. Stark House, the Stark Museum of Art, the Shangri-La Botanical Gardens, and the Lutcher Theater all closed until further notice. The county courthouse closed at noon today, as well as the Orange City Hall. They will remain closed tomorrow. The Lamar State College Orange campus closed at 3 today and will remain closed for the remainder of the week. And the city of Orange has canceled the Music Fest scheduled for Saturday at the Riverfront Pavilion. Now, if you need to find a shelter away from these flood threats, there are a couple of shelters set up across the area. 2 in Newton County, one at the Burkeville Baptist Church off County Road 2092, and a second at the First Baptist Church off Main Street in Newton. Jasper County has a shelter set up in Kirbyville at the First Baptist Church of Kirbyville. And in Orange County, there is one at the First United Methodist Church in Mauriceville, a second at the North Orange Baptist Church off 16th Street in Orange. Coming up, our flood coverage continues with a church inviter stepping up, trying to raise donations to help flood victims get back on their feet. And amazing, 2 dogs rescued from the flooding in Orange. See that amazing rescue coming up next. Continuing our flood coverage tonight with an amazing rescue of a dog in Orange. This videotape sent in by a viewer today who says she heard the dogs off Pine Bluff Road in Orange. You can see the patio there. She contacted first responders, and they came in with a boat to try to bring those dogs out to safety. You can see it worked. Thank goodness. A church inviter stepping up also to help those impacted by the severe flooding. Pastor Bruce Lockett of the First Pentecostal Church of Vidor says the church is looking for non-perishable food items for flood victims. The church is working with the sheriff's office to help those stranded or in need of help.
There's several hundred families that have been flooded out, and we're trying to get the supplies that they may need when they get back on their feet and get food to them and things of that nature. We're praying for you. Don't give up. The rescue's on the way.
Don't give up. If you'd like to donate, drop non-perishable goods at the church located right across the street from the Viter Courthouse. The church is also looking for any veterans with boats to get in contact with them to help with rescues. To contact the church, you can call them at the number on the screen at the bottom, 769-8955. Call me up if you need that again. There are other ways you can help. The American Red Cross accepting donations as well. Donate by going to their website or texting the word Red Cross to 90999 to make a $10 donation. If you'd like to volunteer to help out, call the phone number on the screen here. That is 832-1644. A little girl is missing. An Amber Alert tonight for a 13-year-old girl from Walker County. The Walker County Sheriff's Office says Adriana Coronado was last seen at 1 a.m. Saturday morning in Katy, Texas. Law enforcement officials believe she may be in grave or immediate danger. Coronado is 5 feet tall, 105 pounds, and typically wears black framed glasses like these. Police looking for an unknown person in connection with her possible abduction. Patrick is back in just a moment. A live look right now at Orange, courtesy of Horseman's Western Store, a member of our Medical Center of Southeast Texas Skycam Network.
Well, this afternoon, emergency management in Orange County. And again, our best chance of rain will be coming up on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday ahead of a strong front.
Patrick, thanks so much. We appreciate it, and we appreciate you watching today. Thanks. We'll see you back here at 6.
For tens of thousands of Southeast Texans, your friends, neighbors, maybe you, last month's horrific images of former Hurricane Sandy's damage are all too easy to remember. Named Ike and Rita.
I had wanted a beach home for a long time. It hurt a lot to lose it.
For Bobby Dukas of Nederland, the images are very real and yet a nightmare. Her dream home at the beach was so thoroughly wiped out, only a few pilings remained. A dream obliterated, and the insurance she counted on for replacement value of her $200,000 home, it wasn't there.
We got a check for $17,500.
It may have happened to you too. Bobby lost her husband 3 years ago, and she never rebuilt. Now, 11,000 policyholders have been dropped by State Farm.
Number one priority is to make sure coastal residents are not discriminated with by rates, where they want our coastal taxpayers or coastal residents to pay for windstorm.
Legislators like Corpus Christi State Representative Todd Hunter believe we're in trouble. He was in Beaumont October 11th to whip up your involvement. Oppose dramatically higher premiums on residents of 14 coastal counties. Save or remedy TWIA.
There needs to be a full-fledged pedal-to-the-metal effort to provide incentives, encourage carriers to come back to the coastline.
Governor Rick Perry knew the agency created to protect Texans from hurricanes needed help. Reforming TWIA, the Texas Windstorm Insurance Association, was labeled high priority at the beginning of the 2011 session. The governor made State Senator Mike Jackson a co-chairman of the Special Joint Select Committee on Windstorm Coverage and Budgetary Impact. Its mandate, fix the issue. Nothing happened until the end of the session, and even then a special session had to be called to deal with the issue. HB 3 was the result. Now, in theory, it streamlined claims processing, set deadlines for adjusters to make their claims, offered transparency of TWIA operations and open meetings, and offered double damages if you could provide clear evidence TWIA intentionally ripped you off. Then again, if you had the money for the lawyers to find that evidence, you just go ahead and fix your house, right? It sounded good, but today most lawmakers agree that TWIA still needs to be remedied and that the insurance marketplace is still broken. If Hurricane Sandy hit Southeast Texas today, TWIA would collapse. Jackson was the only lawmaker of 8 invited to the Beaumont Coastal Windstorm Conference who did not show up.
In a very real sense, when you had a chance to fix this, though, you didn't get it done.
When we asked, Jackson literally did not know what HB 3 was or how it helped.
HB 3, huh? Whose bill was that? That was the ultimate bill that you passed. Well,
I probably need to do a little bit more background if we want to go into parts of all of the bills where I can get. I don't want to sound like I'm a real dummy.
It's 14 coastal counties. These people asked you for help, and you were the co-chair of the board.
No, I was put on the oversight committee.
He said we had to have 3 adjusters because they just didn't want to do anything.
Knowing the capital, Hunter has said inland Texas will, quote, run over us if coastal Texas residents don't get in the game. And Assessor Collector Shane Howard agrees. He's one of only 10 people statewide and the only Southeast Texan on the Joint Committee on Seacoast Territory Insurance. His panel may be the last best hope to fix it.
CHWIA would be in receivership or out of business if it were a private insurer. That has to be addressed with major reform, and we can actually be a model for the rest of the country. There is no state doing it well.
I said, look, there's nothing left. How can you tell me that you're not going to pay